Hi again, 8th graders. I'm going to go over the Chapter 9 questions for the outsiders with you today. So you will need your packet. And starting with number 1, why is Derry skeptical about allowing Ponyboy to participate in the Rumble? Derry is worried that Ponyboy is too worn down and out of shape to be in the Rumble. He also says that Pony is too tensed up, and also Johnny won't be there to help him. So as long as you have one of those reasons, you're good on that one. Number 2, why can't Curly Shepherd be in the Rumble? Curly Shepherd can't be in the Rumble because he is in the reformatory. Number 3, how does Ponyboy convince Derry to let him fight? Ponyboy convinces Derry to let him fight by reminding him that no one will be using weapons, so nobody will really get hurt. Number 4, explain why Ponyboy doesn't drink. Ponyboy tried drinking once, but thought it tasted awful and made him sick. He also says that he won't drink again because he's seen so much of what drinking does to people at Johnny's house. So any of those reasons would be good for that one. Number 5, explain why each of the following likes to fight: 2-Bit, Steve, Derry, and Soda. I told you could just pick one and tell why that person likes to fight. So if you picked 2-Bit, he likes to fight because he thinks that everybody does it. Steve fights out of hatred. Soda fights for fun. Derry fights for pride because he likes to show off his muscles. And then you were supposed to explain why you think Ponyboy likes to fight, which is not stated in the text. It's something that you had to decide on your own. Number 6, the Brumley boys also join in the Rumble against the Socs. The next one, explain the difference between the Greasers and the other 2 gangs that are fighting on their side. The other 2 gangs are proud to be hoods and will only get worse as they get older. The Greasers still have a chance to avoid being convicts. The other gangs have leaders and they're organized, where the Greasers are just friends who stick together. And then for the next one, explain the rules of the Rumble. The rules state that fighting is to be fists only, no weapons. The first side to run loses the Rumble. For number 9, who is Paul Holden and how does Derry feel about him? Paul is the first Soc who steps forward to fight Derry at the beginning of the Rumble. They used to play football together and were buddies, but now they hate each other. Number 10, how does the Rumble start? The fight starts when Derry turns his head to see who's yelling at Paul and hits him in the jaw. Derry turns his head to see who's yelling and Paul hits him in the jaw. Didn't read that right. Number 11, who unexpectedly shows up at the Rumble? Dally. And how did he get there? He got there by threatening the nurse with 2-Bit's switchblade. Number 12, the Greasers win the Rumble because the Socs run. Number 13, Ponyboy and Dally head right to the hospital after the Rumble. Why? Because they want to see Johnny. Dally tells Pony that Johnny was getting worse and that he was asking to see Pony. Number 14, how does Dally fool the policeman who pulls him over? He fools the policeman by telling him that he's taking Ponyboy to the hospital because he fell off of his motorcycle. Number 15, how does Dally get into Johnny's room? To get into his room, Dally threatens the doctor with the switchblade. The doctor lets them in, but says it's because they're Johnny's friends, not because of the knife. Now, this whole thing with holding knives on the nurse and the doctor and everything else, sometimes when you read something, you have to have a suspension of disbelief, which means you know that it's something that could not really happen in real life. He'd obviously be arrested for threatening the nurse to begin with and would certainly not be allowed back in the hospital. And a doctor's not going to let someone who just pulled a knife on him go into a patient's room. So that part really, in reality, would never have happened. And so a suspension of disbelief is kind of just taking it for what it is and knowing that it's, fiction, and that sometimes things happen in a fictional story that could not possibly happen in real life and should not happen in real life. Okay, what does Johnny tell Ponyboy and what does it mean? Johnny tells Ponyboy that fighting is useless and then he tells him to stay gold. Johnny means that he wants Pony to stay the way that he is, a good person who cares about things and people. He doesn't want Pony to change into a cold, hard, unfeeling person, kind of like what happened to Dally. So when he says stay gold, he is making a reference to that Robert Frost poem that Pony recited to Johnny while they were in hiding. And we kind of talked about in one of the videos the meaning behind that, where nature's first green is gold, its hardest hue to hold. In the springtime, you'll see a lot of gold on the bushes and on the trees and that kind of thing, and then it kind of turns to green, and then the leaves fall, and we have winter. So it's kind of like the seasons of life. But that springtime gold is symbolic of really innocence. And so when Johnny is saying stay gold, he means stay innocent. Keep some of your innocent, that dreamer quality that Pony has, that quality where he appreciates the little things in life like sunsets and that kind of thing. So that's where that Robert Frost poem really comes into play at the end, and it definitely ties into one of the major themes of the book, where you can have a hard life, but don't let it harden you and turn you into a cold and heartless person. That kind of learn from your mistakes, do your best to pull yourself out of tough situations. While you're in the situation, know that things will get better, and don't let it make you a bitter person, to know that there are still good things in life and that there's always hope. Because when you give up hope, there's not an awful lot left. It's hard to keep hope sometimes when things are difficult, but that's what Johnny's trying to tell Pony. Don't lose your innocence, don't give up hope. Okay, 8th graders, that was heavy. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.